Bang! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the National Wrestling Shooters. I'm Cody Brandon here, and this is episode number 2 of the Smackdown Discussion on episode of Smackdown, where we had the ongoing feud with Miz and Daniel Bryan, kind of, sort of. Rusev and Becky Lynch's rise to superstardom on Smackdown, and a reunion about 5 years or so in the making. So without further ado, let us get right to it. We open up SmackDown with MizTV. Miz talks about last week how the Bludgeon Brothers came out, destroyed Daniel Bryan, and then it allowed the Miz to come out and beat Daniel Bryan within a matter of seconds. You know, obviously with the crowd chanting Daniel Bryan, Daniel Bryan, Daniel Bryan. He tries to show the Bludgeon Brothers a little bit of respect. Who were his guests at the time? Bludgeon Brothers didn't really say anything until towards the very end. Bryan comes out and says, "Hey, you cost me a shot at the WWE Championship. But size doesn't matter. It's all about the hearts. So I'm not asking you if you gotta fight me. I'm asking which one of you wants to get beaten up first." Harper takes the mic and says, well, it says his first words since joining the Bludgeon, being part of the Bludgeon Brothers, really. Or I should say one of the very few words he's spoken. He's basically like, "Bryan, you just don't learn. You just don't learn. But you're going to learn tonight. Accept the challenge," and we get our main event set up for Daniel Bryan versus Harper. Part of the reason why this was main event is because AJ Styles, Carmella, and Asuka, and Shinsuke Nakamura were all absent from this episode of SmackDown. AJ Styles and Carmella were over at Australia doing some promotional work for the Super Show coming up in October at the at the Cricket Arena in Australia. Nakamura, we'll get to that one in a little bit, and then Asuka, we will also get to that one in just a little bit. I just got a message from one of my friends at PS4 saying I'm the tag team champions. We will get to that in a little bit. We get to the opening matchup of the evening, which is Rusev versus Xavier Woods. I love, by the way, before the match started, I love how, like, Aiden English, before he said Rusev Day, I think New Day threw a pancake, he grabbed it, kissed it, and then tossed it back, and then proceeded with Rusev Day. I just found that very, very funny. Another thing that was kind of comical during this matchup was when Xavier Woods did a Took the World Head Scissors. Rusev kind of landed a little bit awkwardly on the ropes, kind of looking like Woods is going to do a 619. Ironic, as Rey Mysterio is in WWE 2K19. And then Big E had this sign deal. You know, like one of those little bubble text animation deals that you get sometimes in like cartoons and all that, and it just said "ouch." And the irony in that, I'm just like, well, that probably wouldn't hurt a whole lot. But there was just some comedy stuff, real cheesy but funny enough. At the end, pretty good matchup, pretty good opener for the show, and with Rusev getting the victory after a pretty good sequence where Woods is dodging Rusev, and then he goes for that discus punch, but usually when Woods goes for that, he gets caught with something, and he got caught with a kick to the back of the head, then the Machka kick, and then the Accolade once again, because apparently Xavier Woods has been in the Accolade longer than anyone in WWE, and I think that might be the case, probably. I don't know. Rusev afterwards says it wasn't about Xavier Woods, it was about AJ Styles. He says he hopes AJ Styles is watching, and he knows AJ Styles is scared because he punched Aiden England last week, and he'll pay. Rusev says he's going to break down the door to AJ Styles' house, take the belt, and it'll be a great Rusev Day. A pretty nice little mini promo after the matchup. Usually those aren't really a whole lot to be excited for, but that one was actually straight to the point, very nicely done. It might confuse the people because, you know, last week he was like kind of a face, kind of not really. Kind of working on the crowd reaction a little bit, and obviously when Aiden got punched in the face by Styles, now Rusev's a heel. It might confuse people a little bit, but people got to remember, Rusev is still a heel. He hasn't officially turned face. He's just got a super over gimmick, which hopefully will lead him to the WWE Championship at Extreme Rules. That's just my hope. Jeff Hardy is shown backstage. He talks about how ever since he got knee to the face, you know, he's gotten a bit more I wouldn't say crazy, although that would be irony into what's about to go down. But, you know, kind of resurrected himself. He's got the face paint. He's officially brought the face paint back. Thank you. Now bring back no more words. Bring back that theme song. You don't need the regular Hardy Boys theme. That's only for when you two are together. Damn it. So Nakamura is not there due to an injury. Now, what I've learned about this injury is that it actually isn't a work. But a police dog apparently got a hold of Nakamura's leg and kind of left him a little bit sore. So it's not anything that is going to be severe, but I can only imagine because those dogs can be dogs. I'm a dog person, but they could be ruthless as hell if they choose to, depending on the breed as well. Oh, backstage segment with Glow and Naomi. Don't care. I'm not going to talk about that because it's irrelevant. But then we get the United States Championship matchup. It is Jeff Hardy going one-on-one with Eric Young of Sanity. And that one was a little bit of a curveball. You know, honestly, in my mind, I was thinking maybe Andrade Cien Almas was going to accept the challenge and maybe even win the United States Championship from Jeff Hardy. But I thought, well, we're probably going to do Nakamura Jeff Hardy at Extreme Rules down the line. So Almas can wait for a little bit. We get a match with Jeff Hardy and Eric Young at the very beginning. It's a shame that it started off like this at the very beginning. But it was a botch at the very beginning when Jeff Hardy was early on trying to go for like that Twist of Fate stunner like maneuver. And it just went all sorts of wrong. And then Jeff went to the top rope with a swanton. But Young moved out of the way. But Jeff obviously didn't die for him because that would be pretty dumb. We get a pretty basic matchup. Pretty not bad per se, but a good enough match, so to speak. It ends with the Usos coming out, Sanity getting into a fight, and Eric Young throwing an Uso into the ring, which the Uso tackles him down, and Eric Young wins by disqualification against Jeff Hardy since Eric Young was attacked. This turns it into a six-man tag team matchup. I saw bits and pieces of this one. It ends with Jeff Hardy getting a swanton bomb on Alexander Wolf for the 3 count, and Jeff Hardy and the Usos pick up a victory over Sanity. Now, there's been a question that I've seen pop up a little bit, and it kind of does raise a bit of an eyebrow if they lost. To that I say this, yes and no. Here's the thing. It could mess them up, but not really, because I think Sanity are going to go on to face the Usos in a Texas Tornado tag team matchup at Extreme Rules and beat the Usos, kind of getting momentum back, and then maybe Eric Young could face Hardy at Extreme Rules in a rematch because, you know, he won by disqualification. He didn't lose the match, you know, so that's a reason. But who knows? So hopefully it doesn't really screw up the momentum. I do kind of question the thing of them losing at, like, the first official match as a team. But I'm going to hold my breath. I'm going to hold my breath a little bit, and hopefully, this won't end up bad, and everything will be okay. Next, we get a matchup with Becky Lynch versus Sonya Deville. Not a bad matchup either. Not really special, but Sonya and Becky did show some things or two out there. As I see the comments, what's up, WWE fan kid? I'm gonna read the comments real quick. Wap, felt smack. Legendary _3 R1K says, hell yes, Rusev Day was healed tonight. Yes, it was. Very obvious. Scott, you got no chin. You've got no chin. No chin in hell. Oh, God. That was the first comment I saw. And, of course, WWE fan gate left the last comment just a second ago saying hi. Hello, how are you? Sonya Deville and Becky Lynch. Pretty basic matchup, but kind of Becky's getting this sort of mini push. Well-deserved so, because she should have won Money in the Bank. If it wasn't Sasha, then it should have been Becky. I'm not going to say it should have been Natalia because I think it only would have made sense storyline-wise. Really, top 2 candidates were Sasha and Becky. I was hoping, but beside the point. Becky Lynch getting the victory against Sonya Deville. Next week, I'm imagining she's either facing Mandy Rose or Peyton Royce. And then the week after that, she'll face the other one. Kind of proving herself, so to speak. We get a segment where James Ellsworth talks to Ty. Dillinger is like, hey, with the Asuka match, you're a 10. And Ellsworth's like, hey, without the mask, I'm a 10 too, right? And Ty's like, no, you're a 1. There you go. Obviously, Ellsworth then just turning around and be like, hey, he says I'm number 1. We get a small clip of Andrade Cien Almas because for 3 weeks in a row, he was supposed to face Sin Cara. And, well, he's put him on the shelf. There's no competition for the show. And basically, Andrade Cien Almas is supposed to be this force to be reckoned with. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know if it's going to work for someone like Andrade Cien Almas. Don't get me wrong, Andrade Cien Almas is great. And I want him used on WWE television. I want him used on SmackDown Live. It's going to be a little bit slighted. I won't lie. That Andrade Cien Almas isn't getting to show what he's made of. Like, Almas went from an afterthought in NXT after he debuted to this. After he won the NXT Championship, out of nowhere, might I add, because I don't think a lot of people thought Andrade Cien Almas was going to pick up the NXT Championship at NXT TakeOver War Games, but he ended up doing so. So, the way he's being used on SmackDown, I'm not going to say it's bad, per se, and he is being used every week, so, I mean, television time, of course, but at some point, it's going to have to stop, and at some point, it's going to need to be Sin Cara versus Andrade Cien Almas, and it could very well be at Extreme Rules. It could very well be on the pre-show. Ellsworth comes down to the ring with his new ladies' man gimmick, I guess? Maybe? Ellsworth says that he's never that this is a man's sport, but hey, I respect and love women. I'm gonna look at GTS, so I think you would say otherwise. He says that he would never do anything wrong, but he wasn't ready for Asuka last week, and now he's ready for Asuka this week. And that's when Paige comes out and says that, hey, Asuka's in Japan, taking care of her family, and you know that, so that's when you conveniently came down to the ring and called Asuka out because you knew she wasn't going to show up. But let me just let you know something. That is going to be Asuka versus Carmella at Extreme Rules for the SmackDown Women's Championship. That was one match confirmed for Extreme Rules. The other one we will get to later. James Ellsworth asks, okay, well, is that it? No, wait, no. You came to take me on a date. Paige kind of plays within and is like, sure, how does next Tuesday sound? And Ellsworth is like, are you serious? No, yep. Paige is like, yeah, that's fine. Although it's not with me, and it's not really a date, because you're going to go one-on-one next week with Asuka. So, we're getting an intergender matchup next week with James Ellsworth versus Asuka. Now, if you don't know, after Ellsworth got released from WWE last year, in like 2017, after his year-long contract that ended, he had been on the independent scene with this intergender championship. Basically, men or women, mainly women, I think, from what I've seen, to face him for the intergender championship. It was a championship I think he made himself, if I recall correctly. And he'd face a bunch of women and would beat a bunch of women and hold on to this championship as kind of like his shtick in the independent scene and in GTS and all that. So I find they might be using this to do that a little bit. Maybe. Or it could just be Ellsworth's going to be a punching bag for Asuka because lol. But either way it goes, we have James Ellsworth and Asuka next week on SmackDown Live. We'll see how that goes, I guess. Fire Ellsworth again, please, WWE. Something that tells me that he probably won't be sticking around a whole lot longer. I don't know. It's just one of those feelings I get that I think after Carmella is done with the SmackDown Women's Championship reign, then there isn't going to really be a whole lot of need for Ellsworth, and Ellsworth will probably be let go again. I have just got this feeling in my guts. Or they might stick around with it. I don't know. I've thought many things like that before, and they have surprised me. Then we move on to our main event, Daniel Bryan versus Luke Harper. Very good main event that ended in a disqualification when Eric Rowan interfered when Daniel Bryan had the yes lock on Harper. Bludgeon Brothers go to attack Daniel Bryan, but out comes Kane. Kane comes out of the ring, attacks the Bludgeon Brothers. Bryan with a knee plus on Eric Rowan. A chokeslam from Kane to Luke Harper, and then the embrace. The Team Hell No embrace. And Team Hell No seems to be back together. Paige comes out, is like, oh, no. This is not slipping from my fingertips. No. So at Extreme Rules, it'll be the Bludgeon Brothers versus Team Hell No for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. That was match number 2 confirmed for Extreme Rules. Team Hell No is back, ladies and gentlemen, and I, for one, am perfectly fine with this. I think I mentioned it last week on the Smackdown discussion, or something of the sort, that Bryan was going to compete for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. And I think I mentioned Kane, and I'm like, if I recall, I was thinking, I wonder if maybe they might bring Kane back, but I wasn't holding my breath, and I'm like, I mean, I'm not going to say I wasn't excited at the idea, but I'm going to say, like, I didn't know if they were going to bring someone else in or what. But it turns out it was Kane and his Team Hell No versus the Bludgeon Brothers at Extreme Rules. Jeff Hardy faced off against Eric Young of Sanity since Shinsuke Nakamura was out because a police dog bit him in the leg. And he didn't take the chance to low blow the dog. But that's sadly besides the point. Overall, this SmackDown was pretty decent. Even with Styles and Carmella and Asuka and Shinsuke absent, it was actually a very watchable episode of SmackDown in my view. As far as a winner, I do have a clear winner this week. Last week it was a little bit harder. This week is a bit more obvious and a bit easier. Where is it? I don't know. I put myself on a wall. Huh. You see, Raw had copy and paste, but they did it better than what they did last week. And SmackDown, Bronson Moose stuff, reunited a tag team. I just feel like SmackDown might have scraped it. Just by a little bit? Maybe? Hang on. Let me go through the freaking, details on. I'm gonna look at the Raw thing from yesterday real quick. We're gonna tribute the did not mean to open that. Yeah, the Revival pick up the win over Roman and Bobby. Axel Hardy. Yeah, the Bailey heel turn. Yeah, the Aldous Band coming back. Natalia beating Bliss, question mark. Mojo talking to a cheeseburger. The Braun and Kevin Owens stick. And the awesome. Okay. I'm gonna look at the positives and on Raw. The Revival getting a win over Bobby and Roman. That's a good thing, even though it just kind of came out of nowhere. What else? All the Spain are back. That's also nice. Bailey beating up Sasha Banks and possibly turning heel. That's good. The Braun Kevin Owens stuff. That's good. The main event of Raw, the Intercontinental Championship match. That's also good. And then SmackDown. Let's see. Yeah, and MizTV, that's always entertaining. Yeah, Rusev and Woods, that was a good match. What else? Yeah, Jeff Hardy, Eric Young, that was all right. In the six-man tag match where Sanity lost to the Usos and Jeff Hardy. Becky Lynch. At the Ellsworth thing. Yeah, Bryan, Harper, and Team Hell No coming back. Okay. I think I'm going to go with Raw again this week. But again, it's one of those just barely things. Just barely. Ultimately, both shows had strong moments on their shows, and WWE seems to be picking up the pace once again, like they were, well, maybe not 2016 level, but they're kind of getting there. Of course, there was that big gaping hole called Brock Lesnar, still the Universal Champion. You know what? That actually makes me want to pick SmackDown because of the whole Brock multi-man match not happening. That almost makes me want to go SmackDown. But, nope, I'm going to go Raw. I'm going to go Raw. But both shows are doing really well. SmackDown's bringing it back up. Raw's doing really good for the past 2 weeks. Let's see if they can make it 3 in a row next week. But overall, guys, that is going to do it for this SmackDown discussion. And this week for Raw and SmackDown, on my end anyway. You guys enjoyed this episode of SmackDown. If you guys enjoyed Raw and SmackDown this week, let me know down in the comments below. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you didn't like. If you like this video and you like this discussion, make sure to thumbs up and subscribe for much more of the National Wrestling Shooters content. I've got another set of tournament matches coming your way. Hopefully tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then definitely Thursday. In fact, after this, I'm probably going to be editing the matches, and then it should be up tomorrow, I'm hoping. Probably none stops me from that. You can also subscribe to the NWS Revolution, the NWS Network. See a friend of mine in the comments on the Shield of Valley Castle made his return. Welcome back, Jason, the Shield of Valley Castle. Glad to have you back, man. I think that will do it. I think I've covered everything just about. So again, like, comment, share, subscribe for much more. And guys, remember, we're the NWS, the National Wrestling Shooters. And hey, we're just shooting from the hip. Peace.